And Magic players, this is HK58. I'm going to talk to you about a few cards I can see making into modern or standard or even being made into an artifact form. There's a link in the description below on how I can support how cards can get into modern outside of going through standard. So that's out of the way, so let's get started. So the first two cards I'm going to talk about that I can see being made into artifact form is Arcane Lighthouse and Homeward Path. Some sort of like mana rock, multi-use artifact that can actually, like say 2 mana, tap for colorless, and then it has the Arcane Lighthouse and or the Homeward Path on it. I only say Homeward Path because it'd be kind of cool to see that in case there's any sort of shenanigans in the future of Modern that does a lot of, I'm going to take control of your stuff. I'm not saying that's now, but we never know what Wizards makes in their sets because they all obviously surprised. We're surprised to see what's cool and what's interesting when new sets come out. Arcane Lighthouse to protect against all those artifacts and enchantments. That's why I see those two specific lands being made into a artifact form. High market, just a way to sack a creature to gain a life. I don't see this one being game breaking. However, then again, someone may find a way to kind of break it. So I say throw it in, have it tested. Crystal Quarry, we've already had a newer form in Amonkhet that's indestructible. They can tap for any of the 5 colors. However, adding this in may make some sort of 5-color type deck with this and maybe the Tron lands. Great way to get Progenesis out, even though Progenesis never really be ran because Emrakul's way better. But there are some, like the Bringers, you can cheat the Bringers in with the 5 mana. So there could be a deck out there that's Tron Bringer Tron with the add of the new indestructible land that actually is similar to Crystal Core. So if they added this one in, it'd be another supporting land to that. Winding Canyons just is another support for making all decks other than blue-green decks have flash with their creatures. Then these last two I only am putting on the list to see. I can see these being made into Amonkhet block, mainly because they brought back cycling. Or any future set that runs cycling would be great to see those come in, see what they do. Will they be played? Probably not. The next cycle, 2 cycles, are the cycling lands, and these ones I can see easily made into the Amonkhet block, at least one of the cycles versus the other, or maybe even both in the future. I was hoping that one of the cycles would be in Amonkhet and one would be in the next set for Amonkhet, but nope. They didn't do that. Just 5 extra slots on each set. You would have been fine. But yeah, this one's just be cool to support the monocolor for standard. The next one is the Tribal Lands from Onslaught, and these would be kind of cool to see in Modern. I know like 3 of the most popular ones, or 3 of the most used out of this list would be the Goblin one, the Elf one, and the Zombie one on Holy Grotto, Wirewood Lodge, and Goblin Burrows. But the other ones may actually see future use. Probably not the Bird and not the Soldier, and not the Wizard, but the Cleric and the Beast one, I could see having potential use in the future. I'm not sure when, if any. They'd have to build towards it to make those 2 lands viable. But like I said, these would be great to come in through like a dual deck or some sort of other way to actually get them in. And like I said, I have made a video on how you can get these kind of cards into Modern without going through Standard. These next lands I'm going to quickly talk about are the Tainted Lands. Why aren't these in Modern? I don't know. I think these would be cool little inclusions. They're on commons. I can maybe see them shifted to rare, but that's it. But most likely they'll stay on common. They're budget friendly. They'll help fix mana in budget decks, or even maybe current decks. Tainted Field, all you need is a swamp, and boom, you got a white-black land. And all you have to do is run Urborg, and that covers the whole gist of it. All these ones would be used one way or another. For budget, any budget building, or even maybe an actual two-color deck that would actually pick them up. And the last one I'm going to quickly talk about are the Karoo lands. We already have in Modern the bounce lands from the first Ravnica block, the dual lands like this. However, these ones you have to have an untapped island or an untapped swamp to put these into play. Sorry about that. However, it'd be kind of cool to actually see these ones go through standard. Maybe go through standard if they're tested and are viable. If not, then throwing them into Modern with some new reprint looks. These would be it'd be fun to see what people can make out of monocolor decks running these 5. Will any of them be ran? I actually personally don't know. I'd have to. It's just a test to see, and that's why I'd like to see some of these cards out there, so that they could be tested and maybe even used. As well as it'd be kind of cool to see some new artwork and maybe like a full art form of these ones. But yeah, this is HK58. What do you think about this video or these cards? Will any of them make impact in Standard or Modern? I don't know. That's something that the players have to test. But if you like this type of idea of videos, go ahead and make some videos. Leave some comments down. And just make the video. I personally would say just make your version of the videos, so us players out there, Magic players, can actually get an idea of maybe some of my cards wouldn't work in Modern or Standard, but maybe some of the ones you listed that I have not listed yet may make it into Standard or Modern. Yeah, signing out. You have a wonderful day.